Well, welcome back to day 2 of our webinar series, The Power of Energy. Today we're going to talk about internal energy and mental health. You know, we're feeling the effects of not getting to see and talk to our coworkers, family, friends. Me personally, during this time, I had a grandchild born on May 7th, and it was really, that's the first time COVID has made me mad because I couldn't put my hands on my new grandchild. So we all feel those effects a little bit, and we think it's really important that you keep your internal energy up, and some tips on how to do that, and your mental energy. But fear and anxiety about a disease can really be overwhelming and cause strong emotions in adults and children. Being in quarantine presents challenges because for the first time we find ourselves completely isolated from friends, co-workers, and often our family. Your new normal can cause added anxiety, loneliness, stress, both physical and mental. Quarantine has taken its toll on our GPC employees as well. I'm in my 38th year with Georgia Power, and it's so strange to me not to share a cup of coffee in the morning before starting work with my coworkers. And we find that we don't have a set start and end time to our work day when we're working virtually a lot of time. So often it seems like the day never ends. Some of the things with my work group, we have a virtual meeting every Monday morning, and we start off with a wellness tip. A different person has the tip each week, and it's just something we can do to really focus on a way to keep our mental and emotional health. Often it's exercise. We all have tried to take walks in the evening and then post pictures on a shared site as a team, and we call it Southwest Region at 6. We post the pictures after 6. It gives me something to look forward to, see who can come up with the corniest picture sometimes. I have one real advisor that I trust, and I've actually here today with me, that's the magic 8-ball. So I refer to the 8-ball for all serious questions, and it says, you can count on it. That's the answer for today. So we just try to do something a little lighthearted in the evenings. But we've got with us today from Valdosta Premier Counseling, Ms. Paris Shields.
Hi, my name is Paris Shields, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I work at Valdosta Premier Counseling, which is a private practice here in Valdosta, Georgia. I'm so glad to be able to speak today and just share, ideas for trying to maintain mental and physical, wellness, and just trying to stay in high spirits and just stay well overall as we go through this COVID-19 pandemic. So I'll be discussing a few points with you today to just, think about making it through and coping through the longevity of this crisis. And I hope that it helps us, okay? The first thing I want to go over is just, how we are all doing, as far as our mental perception of things. One thing that I definitely notice as I talk to people, and even, I have to admit, I feel it myself, is that we are all tired of this. That's a sentiment we seem to share, is that we're tired of the quarantine and all of that, and we just really want our life to go back to what it was before. While that may be true, really it doesn't help us too much to focus on how long this is going to last and how tired we are of it. It really doesn't help us to be in that negative mental space. So instead, if we want to make it through this, and be well mentally and in good spirits, the best thing that we could do is try to focus on more positive things. Like, instead of us focusing on how long this is taking and all of the ways that we feel like we've been inconvenienced, we can instead use that energy and focus on what can we do in this time that we usually aren't able to do? How can we spend this time? How can we nurture relationships in our lives? And how can we be present for others? And how can we take better care of ourselves? When we focus on more positive things, it kind of makes it easier to bear if we just don't get stuck in that mental space of when is this going to be over. So it's normal to have that feeling, but you definitely don't want to stay there because it won't do anything but just drain and deplete you even more of your energy. So the second thing I want to talk about is staying connected with others. Yes, we all are quarantined and encouraged to stay home and physically separated. However, we are able to emotionally connect with others in different ways. And that's really important, especially when you're considering one's overall emotional wellness. The last thing you want to do is to be isolated off emotionally. Um, Whenever like we are stressed, when we have anxiety, depression, or whatever, uh, being alone tends to make those things worse. So even though, again, we're physically disconnected, we can stay emotionally connected to others. So try to use technology to work for you, to reach out to people. Some people are quarantined by themselves or with one or two other people. Either way, try to use social media to stay connected. There are online support groups. There are telephone NA and AA support groups. There's FaceTime and various apps that we can use to just try to keep from feeling alone. That's the biggest thing. Um, we all know that we have technology available to us to try to reach out to others, but we don't want to forget our elderly population may not always be, very tech savvy. I'm not either, but they may not be very tech savvy. So we don't want to not be able to connect with our elderly population because they don't know how to use an app or because they don't, have an up-to-date phone or whatever. So, remember that there are still good old-fashioned ways to communicate with other people. You can consider making a phone call and just talking to them. There is always old-fashioned snail mail, with the times being so different now, we don't really write letters anymore like we used to. Most of us don't anyway. Think about how much a handwritten letter would mean to an elderly person, or a card, or just a coloring or a sketch from one of the kids or something. So just try to keep that in mind, that yes, technology is helpful, but it's not the only way, and that not everyone can access technology or feel very tech savvy to even use it. So don't be afraid to consider some, resorting back to some older ways to communicate, just to stay connected. Also, think about how you can help. Yes, we are kind of, we're physically separated, and sometimes people, despite being physically separated, they want to reach out and they want to help more. So think about, is there something I could donate, maybe to like a assisted living facility or a nursing home? Can I donate some crafts, some coloring books, and things like that? Because the staff there are really trying to keep the residents busy and engaged, and they may not be getting as many visitors as they usually would get. So there still are ways that you can try to help others and stay connected. The next thing I want to talk about is positive energy. We want to feel good, right? So we want to make sure that we are putting out positive energy. We miss seeing people. I say we because I think most of us feel this way. I talk to people all day over video conference, and what I'm getting is that even those people that think they wouldn't miss people are starting to miss people. A trip to Walmart or Publix has never meant more to us than it does now. So try to put positive energy out there when you do have to go out to get, some more supplies, and of course you're wearing your mask and your social distancing. Try to remember that it's okay to say hello, or ask the store clerk or the cashier, ask them how they're doing, or just share a nice word with them. When we put positive energy out there, it comes back to us and it feels good. It lifts our spirits. It helps us all mentally. And we all are capable of helping the next person. You never know how much a kind word can mean to an essential worker or something. We don't know what another person might be dealing with, and if they've lost someone or anything. So let's not just be so in a rush to go get our bleach and our toilet paper that we don't stop and remember that we all are people and we all are going through, a bit of a tough time. And we can check on each other. We all can check on each other and lift each other up. So put positive energy out there so that you can feel good about yourself and get positive energy back. We want to feel good. Remember to be kind and considerate. When we do have to go out, yes, we're a little stressed and a little scared and want to hurry up and get what we got to get, just get out of the store. That's true, but remember to be kind and considerate of other people. We want to remember to be patient as well, when we're out and about getting our supplies. Remember that the essential workers that's working, they are maybe a little nervous and putting themselves and their family at risk. And let's be patient. Let's follow the rules in the stores and stand on the X's and just try to stay 6 feet apart. I know it can be frustrating for us and we're not used to this, but we want to be kind to others and we want to be patient and know that the places that are opened that we can go to, they're trying to help us and they're trying to keep us safe. So even though it might seem like an inconvenience to stand that far apart or wait for your turn to get into a specific place, just remember they're trying to keep us healthy and keep us safe. So try to put good energy out there. Another thing I want to put out there for a coping skill is good old-fashioned fun. We have been just on the go so much. COVID has kind of slowed us all down and it's kind of forced us to be still and kind of stop and smell the roses. Helping, to get through these times and to cope and to have positive energy, we need to remember to have fun. It's okay to, listen to some music. It's okay to do a silly dance, play some games, be creative, enjoy the people around you. Those are things that kind of can help us over the long haul because we really don't know how long we're going to be, in this situation, and we want to make the best of it. Another thing is kind of need to adjust our schedule because things are just really different from what we're used to. Some people are at home now and they are not used to being at home. Some people are used to traveling and they're not able to travel. So what we're finding is that a lot of us are stuck in one place, and oftentimes that's home, and it's hard. So what we don't want to do is kind of fall into this rut of just kind of taking naps all day, being couch potatoes, staying up all hours of the night, sleeping the day away because we don't have to get up and go into the office. Those things can feel good in the moment, but when you think about maintaining mental wellness and trying to keep your spirits high during a time like this, it really doesn't feel good when you just kind of don't do anything for too many days in a row. It might start off feeling kind of good, but over time, it really just kind of drains us and we start to feel like, I don't care how many naps you take, you still feel tired. Well, that's not good. We don't want to be in that place. So try to keep some form of a schedule. You don't have to be rigid and everything has to be perfect. You can be flexible with it, but try to have some schedule. Try not to sleep all day. Try not to stay up all night, There are things that you could do with your day. Make some reasonable plans and keep the plans. Set small goals and try to accomplish those small goals. It could be something so simple as, today I'm going to reorganize this cabinet or I'm going to reorganize this drawer. It could be something that small. But when we get something done, we feel productive. We feel like, wow, I did something with my day. I didn't just lay on the couch all day. And when we feel productive, we tend to have a more positive energy about us, and also a more positive self-image. And we need that to feel good. Another good thing about, accomplishing different tasks around our house, such as, cleaning out a certain area or organizing something, is it's good for our physical health because it gets us up and moving. And we need to be up and moving. We want to have energy. And we know one way to build or maintain energy is to get moving. Exercise has always been a coping skill for maintaining our mental and physical health. So we don't want to, just not be doing anything. Um, those small tasks that you're doing, moving boxes or something like that, or cleaning an area, is good because you're moving around, you're moving your body. You want to feel good. We also have, I've seen so many different commercials about, just our comfort foods and getting our quarantine snacks. And we've been stocking up on, all these yummy things that we probably usually don't sit around and eat. We want to keep in mind that, we want to watch what we're consuming. The quarantine snacks, the comfort foods, they're really nice during this time, but you don't want to overdo it in that area because then you'll start to physically feel kind of yucky over time. Again, you don't really know how long this is going to last, so we don't want to spend however many weeks or months snacking on things that aren't the best. That just won't put us in a good place in the weeks and months to come. So take care of yourself, your physical health. It's also important for us to remember that, yes, we want to take care of our physical health. We also want to take care of our mental health as well. We don't want to neglect either one of those. If you neglect one, it could definitely affect the other. For example, if you don't feel physically well, this could lead to a negative mood, because when we don't feel physically well, sometimes that can make us feel blue, make us feel sad, depressed, or worried even. So we want to make sure that we're physically moving so that we can mentally be well, and vice versa. If you have a negative mood, a lot of times you won't really be motivated to get up and get moving. So one definitely affects the other, and we want to make sure that we take care of both of those. Also, I want to talk about the importance of asking for help. I talk to people all day, every day, and what I'm noticing is that people are a bit anxious. People are a bit, blue at times about what's happening, and I just want people to know that, you're not alone in the way that you are feeling, and that, it's totally normal to be saddened by what's happening in our world right now. It's normal for us to feel a little anxious also, because we don't know what things are going to look like in the future. So if you are feeling that way, it's normal to feel that way, but if it's excessive and you're just feeling like you can't seem to pull yourself out of that emotional place, it's okay to ask for help. You are not the only one that feels that way. And so, of course, we want people to ask for help if they are in a crisis situation, like you feel like hurting yourself or someone else. Of course, we want people to reach out for help at a time like that, but we also don't want people to wait until they are in a crisis. Taking care of your mental health doesn't have to be a severe thing before you reach out and say, I want to talk to someone. It could be something that's just, it's been several days in a row and I'm just feeling kind of stuck. I'm feeling kind of blue and I need to talk to someone. And that's okay. We want people to reach out and ask for help. Take care of yourself. We are here at Valdosta Premier Counseling are providing telemental health services right now, as well as many other providers in our area. And so you have that option available to you. And what better time than now to have telemental health services available to us when we're being encouraged to stay at home. So that means that you don't necessarily have to go out and go into a waiting room and, be worried about getting sick. You can just connect with the provider in your area and receive services through video conference. Um, so I just want to encourage people to remember to do that. That is a resource that's available to you. It doesn't have to just be individual help. It could be, family counseling. It could be couples counseling. We are kind of in a tight space sometimes with family all day, and why family time is good, and hopefully we like it and are enjoying it. The truth is that sometimes we can get a little agitated. People can get tired of being together. All the togetherness gets a little difficult. So if you're finding that to be a challenge, consider counseling for your family, or for as a couple, whatever the case may be. Just remember to reach out if need be. Don't wait until you feel like it's just a crisis to ask for help. Well, anyway, I hope that these tips, these coping skills, are beneficial to you all as we try to find our way through this. I hope that these things are helpful and that they're useful coping mechanisms. I thank you all so much for having me today. And I hope everybody has a good day. Stay well, stay safe.